Hi, this is Jeff Wong from Dr. Wealth. Today I'm going to talk about how to turn $200,000 into $2 million and how investors are retiring on properties. First, a disclaimer, opinions about property investing will be expressed in this video. They should not be taken as recommendations or investment advice. The views belong to the presenter, that is myself, and do not represent the views of Dr. Wealth. How to turn $200,000 into $2 million. And I'm taking a very conservative view that it will take 17 years. And I will give you an example in UK, right, where you can buy two properties at the start with valuation of about £165,000 each. And in many countries in the West, actually buying homes or landed homes can be as cheap as 100,000 US or $200,000 or about 150 to 200,000 pounds. So this is entirely possible. Now, the other assumption is do not spend any of your rental income and remortgage after 5 years when your property valuation has increased. And this ties in with the B4R strategy, where in order to achieve this, you need to safely leverage with positive cash flow from your rental income, and it must be higher than your mortgage expense, and you must see consistent capital gains of about at least 5% a year. Now, the other assumptions, for each property purchase, you put in roughly 30% of the property's value. So assuming that you can get a 75% mortgage and a 25% deposit, but you need to put another 5% roughly taxes, commissions, other fees as well. So assumption one, you make a net return of 4% on your investment from rent. This is very average for a buy to let or a rental property on a single contract. Okay, you can make more if you do room rentals, and that means you split a house into 3-4 bedrooms, or sometimes in overseas they allow you to do up to 7 or even more beds, provided the house is big enough with various regulatory controls like fire alarm system and all that, and you call that house of multiple occupants in the UK. Now, assumption two is assume rental growth is 3% a year, roughly in line with inflation. Assumption three, assume property grows by 6% per year. Again, this is an average. You can beat the average by actually buying undervalued properties in high capital growth areas. So again, going back to the B4R strategy, if you end up buying something that is expensive, be it new or old properties, and you overpay without looking at comparables at a website, then you end up paying 20 to 30% higher. It means that the first 5 to 7 years, there is no capital gains, it's wiped out. And also, if you buy the wrong asset class, like for example, Asians think that everywhere they go, apartments that are shiny and new are the best, but actually in many Western countries, they actually want old landed houses with charm. So it depends on buying the right asset class. If you buy the wrong one, you will not get the same results. So the steps. Now, in year one, you buy two properties at £165,000 each, £50,000 into deposit, which is about 30% into each property. With 6% growth per year, you will take until year 5 when it's valued at £220,000 each to make it worthwhile to remortgage and release equity. In year 6, beginning of year 6, use the funds you have released plus the rental income you have saved to buy another two properties at £165,000 each. Now, by then you will have 4 properties. Rent each house saved over 5 years is about £10,600, including 3% annual growth. Equity per house released, 75% times £220,000, which is actually the price at year 6, minus the cost at 165,000, you can borrow an additional 41,250 per house. And you remember you have 2 houses. So rent plus equity release, about 50,000 to pay for the deposit plus fees for the next house. And you can buy 2 more houses in year 6. In year 10, extract £100,000 from the later two houses. First two houses were grown to 588,000, can extract 75% times 588,000 minus 440 equals 100,000, and can buy another three houses worth £220,000 each. You have held a total of 7 houses by then. In year 17, the value of houses would be well worth, say, over $2 million. First two houses have grown to 588,000, can extract 75% times 588 minus 440 equals 100,000, can buy another three houses worth 220 each. You would hold a total of 7 houses with a valuation of over £2 million. If you sell all of them and clear your mortgage, you'll be holding £1 million or 2 million Sing dollars of cash. Alternatively, you could choose to sell 3 or 4 of them and use the proceeds to clear the mortgage on the remaining properties, enjoying collecting the rent on the remaining properties debt-free. And I've come to the end of the illustration. So it's entirely doable within 17 years to achieve £2 million of assets and £1 million of net worth. Now, all this is done in conjunction with the B4R strategy. And I repeat, you need cash flow positive properties with rental yields that are higher than your mortgage obligations. Number 2, you need capital gains, and you need a fast-growing city. Buy the right asset class, which is if the place gets a far better capital appreciation in houses, then go for houses, right? Being able to add value, buying at market value or below market value, being able to create capital gains right from the start. Remember, gains are made when you buy, not when you sell. And if you buy smartly, able to do comparables with the surrounding area, then it is possible for you to achieve this. And I've come to the conclusion of my presentation. If you're interested to find out more, sign up for my webinar, where I'll explain more about financial freedom from property investing. See you then.